Hi, Joel here. I want to welcome you to this week's edition of Imagine Better. As Lee likes to say, I am grateful to be here and I'm glad to be here. So last week, working with the customer, somehow this new term, at least new term to me, popped into my head to talk about recentism with a customer. What is recentism? Well, it's another word for tyranny of the urgent. Well, how do you get to that? Well, when we're delivering software, we're always talking about we want to measure everything. We want data around everything that we do so we can track and have information to present internally and back to the customer about the value or where we're at on a project. It's not about feelings. It's not about how I think we're doing. So where I'm going with this recentism is this idea that without information, without data on a project of how you're breaking it down, how you're designing, how you're constructing, how you're implementing the project, but without data around the project, you're left up to the most recent events on the project. Did the last sprint go well? Well, the project must be going well. We look great. How are we doing here? Well, in the last week or two, things have gone well. They haven't gone well. Uh-oh, the project's not doing well. You're just stuck to gut feeling or feelings about things and recent events, and you're not tied to factual data. And boy, you can get really off track looking at a stoplight status report and everything looks green and like, okay, great. Well, things were great recently, but when you're thinking about the entire project, they aren't great. And so really what we're trying to do is add data, measure everything, bring data back, and take feelings out of how we're doing on projects, are we bringing value to the customer, where are we at, and bring data to the discussion. It's not subjective, it's objective. We have data, we have hard facts of this is where we're at, this is how we're doing, so many requirements are signed off, here's where we're at the sprint delivery, our velocity, defect density, all those things come into play, but you gotta have data. Otherwise you default back to recentism and tyranny of the urgent. What's burning hot now and I gotta follow up on that. And so really just wanted you to consider this idea of making sure you're not focused on how you're feeling and focusing on data to guide you through projects. I think that's one thing we're really doing well here. And so I just would encourage you to kick out the tyranny of the urgent, bring in your data, and see how much better your projects can be.